Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I as always am Grestar and this is another death battle reaction, Danny Phantom versus American Dragon Jake Long. So of course make sure to click the link in the description below to go to the official release first, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, watch that there, then come back here and we'll watch it together. So yes, Danny Phantom and American Dragon Jake Long. So I've watched like just a few episodes of American Dragon and I've watched more of Danny Phantom for sure, but certainly like not all of the series or anything like that. I didn't have either channel growing up, and so it was more like when I would go on vacation, you know, staying in the hotel, I would be able to catch some Danny Phantom, or like going over to a particular friend's house. He had Nickelodeon, so I could watch it there, like that kind of thing, you know. But for the most part, I didn't have either of these shows growing up, and so yeah. But between the two, like I said, I certainly watched more Danny Phantom, and I certainly liked it more from what I did see of it. Like both the character and his powers, I just liked them, you know, all together more. You know, like the friends that you got to see and things like that. So frankly, I'm hoping that he'll win this one, but I don't know what Jake Long has going for him. You know, obviously I know Danny Phantom has ghost powers, so he can phase, he can become intangible, incorporeal, you know, he could phase through things, whether that's a wall or a punch, you know. He can shoot beams of energy, he can go invisible, but I don't really know much aside from that, nor do I know to what extent he can do those things, or like how powerful those things are for him. And as for Jake Long, I know he can become like a little red dragon, right? That's the thing, probably breathe fire, But yeah, I don't know. And I know that their things too is like, you know, it's kind of monster of the week, right? Like they'll just encounter a new, you know, wacky enemy that they have to subdue somehow. You know, with a variety of different like powers at their disposal. And Danny's, you know, are much more ghost-based, right? More energy-based or whatnot. And I would imagine that Jake has more of a variety, but I could be wrong on either of those fronts. So I don't know. Don't have much else to say. So with that, let's get to watching.
What's up, everybody? This is
hey.
Grestar. I have notes.
Oh.
New podcast. Issa Badiola. Other people at RT Animation.
What?
We're gonna talk creative stuff.
I don't know who you are or what your
What's
thing
that
is.
behind me?
Is it a ghost?
Cat.
Is it cat? Oh, it was a cat. I thought it was a ghost.
Like this.
Oh no! Put her down.
Premiering April 30th.
Oh my gosh!
Premiering
April
30th.
30th. Okay, got it. April 30th. Roosterteeth.com. Whoa, man, that was information overload. Jeez, I hope that guy's okay. That cat looked serious. All right, death battle. Danny and
There's a
Jake.
thin line between the natural and the supernatural.
And for some reason, the weirdest of powers keep showing up in teens.
Buffy.
When's it gonna be our turn?
Danny Phantom, Amity Park's half-human, half-ghost superhero.
And
That's right.
Jake Long, the hip American dragon of New York City. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Yeah. Yeah, do
Young
it.
Danny Phantom, he was just 14 when his parents built a very strange machine. It was designed to view a world unseen. He's
Boomstick?
gonna catch them all, cause he's Danny Phantom.
Nice,
Yep.
but let's focus on his backstory.
Okay.
Man, I just did.
Yeah.
In song.
Fair enough.
I liked that theme
Danny
song
wasn't
because it
much
was
different from your
like first
usual
it sounded
high school
good, but it was very
teen.
revealing.
A bit
Yeah.
awkward, a bit geeky, but not unusual. Except for the fact that his parents had taken up a very unusual profession.
Yeah, hunting ghosts.
Among their spectral-seeking equipment was the Fenton Portal, meant to open a rift to the realm of spirits.
The Ghost Zone! But then Danny took a look inside of it. There was a great big flash. Everything just changed. His molecules got all rearranged.
Yep.
Okay, I'll stop.
Unbeknownst to his parents,
Snow
the
white
portal
hair, glowing
permanently
green
changed
eyes,
Danny's
walk through
body,
walls, disappear and
transforming
fly,
him
much
into
more
a
unique than the other
half-orc
guys.
Or a human infused with ecto energy.
AKA Ghost Powers. And when ghosts started invading the living world, Danny took it upon himself to catch them all. And despite this show starting in the early 2000s, that's not talking about Pokemon. Weird coincidence.
He soon became known as the supernatural superhero, Danny Phantom.
And
Yeah.
for some reason, nobody figured out that Danny Fenton was Danny Phantom. People are dumb.
Maybe they were just playing along.
Was he actually
He's a
known
kid
as
after
Danny
all.
Phantom?
Nah, they're
I thought he was known as
Catch Ghost
Invisible.
Danny used a lot of his parents' signature gadgets, including the Fenton Thermos.
Once a clever way to sneak your beer into concerts, now a device that sucks up and traps the undead. Wait a minute, is this kid a Ghostbuster?
Basically.
Or, I guess a ghost Ghostbuster?
In a way, but Danny's ghastly form meant he could do many things that Bill Murray could not.
He can do anything a ghost can, like floating around and spooking the shit out of people.
He can fly, sense other spirits, freeze foes with ice, create equally spectral clones of himself, possess others, turn invisible, and expel ectoplasmic energy in the form of barriers and attacks.
Oh yeah, he's a laser shooting ghost.
Yes.
Ectoplasma.
Whatever.
Is-
He can fire beams from his eyes, his finger, and even his spectral sphincter.
I guess that's why they call him Ghastly. Maybe he
No,
should see a doctor.
it was good.
But
It
his
was good,
deadliest,
Wiz.
most exhausting ability is his
Boomstick was just
ghostly
jealous.
wail.
This one comes from the other end, where he's literally yelling at people. He really is a teenager.
This wail is an omnidirectional burst of ectoplasmic energy.
Omnidirectional?
Which, at its strongest, can eradicate weaker ghosts in a single shot.
See, just like that.
No, he's fine.
Why?
Danny's proven himself as a powerful ghost fighter again and again, like the time he went Kamehameha on this poor skeleton at a mini golf course.
Comparing Danny's size to the crater formed, the energy needed to vaporize this much terrain would be in the ball or golf park of
Okay.
around 550 tons of TNT. Plus, his ectoplasmic
Doesn't
beams
sound
tend to
super
be considered
impressive.
actual
550
lasers.
tons, okay.
Ha! I knew it!
They move in straight lines, burn on contact, bounce off reflective surfaces, and can be channeled through a magnifying glass, so they are likely comparable to light in both makeup and speed.
And he's shooting and dodging these things on a daily basis. You'd think with speed like that, he'd never be late for class. Or get smacked by some of these heavy hitters like his nemesis Vlad or this dragon lady, Dorothea.
Dorothea's fire breath was powerful enough to disperse a large cloud formation. Measuring the distance between this castle and the outskirts, we determined the cloud would, at minimum, need a radius of over 300 meters to encompass the landmass the castle is situated on.
Okay.
Dispersing a cloud cover of that size would need over 7 kilotons of TNT.
And he
even
withstood
beat up his
that,
future
then?
self, Dan Phantom. Because
Oh.
I guess, that shows that he's matured, because he's
Dan.
Dan now.
Yeah.
As powerful as Danny is, he's still a teenager and has all the arrogance and moodiness that comes with the territory.
And he's got a really bad habit of losing his powers in the most random ways possible. Meet a genie? Powers gone. Shrink ray? Sure, why the hell not? I'm just surprised he didn't trip into his own
Why does a
thermos
shrink
at
ray
some
make him
point.
lose his
Oh,
powers?
wait, he did.
Still, Danny has saved his hometown and the entire world time and time again. He had to stop all the ghosts that were coming through. He's here to fight for me and you. Oh, damn it, now you have me doing it.
Yeah.
I'm going ghost.
Okay. So honestly, those feats didn't seem super impressive.
Thousands of years ago, a group
Let's see
of
how these
mystic
compare.
warriors were formed. This was the Hunts clan, and their mission was to eliminate all magical creatures from the world.
But these Foot Clan wannabes were in over their heads thanks to the most powerful creatures of them all, the dragon.
Dragons.
In short, every corner of the world has a dragon tasked as a guardian of the magical community.
Oh.
This mantle is passed down generation by generation.
So after the Chinese dragon's daughter moved to America, her son became the first American dragon, Jake
Ah.
Long. He's cool, he's hot like the frozen sun.
Wait,
he's
so-
young and fast, he's the chosen
If every
one.
corner of
He's
the world had a
American
dragon guardian, how was he the first
You're gonna do
American
this the whole
dragon?
episode, aren't you?
Wouldn't there have always been an
Probably.
American
Jake
dragon?
was only 13 years old when he became the newest protector of magic. His responsibilities became tough to handle alongside school and friends.
Yeah, imagine that.
Lucky for Jake, he didn't have to go it alone. His grandfather was his mentor in martial arts and all things dragon, and had a magical dog, Foo Dog, who I'm pretty sure has a higher body count than any of this show's villains.
Really?
Oh, rest in peace, DiCaprio, you handsome
Wait, what?
devil.
He was
Learned how to
responsible
fight
for
fair
Titanic?
watching you. I'll never let go.
To be clear, Jake possessed the ability to transform into a draconic persona, complete with brand new physique and abilities.
Yes.
Oh, duh, he's a freaking dragon! He's got the claws, the teeth, the tail, the wings, and of course the raging, burning fire breath! He was throwing fire from his mouth, his hands, and even his burning beehole!
All of these kids should really go see a doctor.
Yes.
His dragon form's in super top condition! He's even got ultra sight and vision thanks to his eye and ear of the dragon powers!
Ah.
Perfect for when some pesky ninja punks are trying to get the jump on you.
Yes,
Gotta
that would
hate it
be.
when that happens. That's why it's always important to have anti-ninja protection.
What? Where did you sign up for that?
Okay.
Why do you think I bought 10,000 screaming rubber chickens? Try and step foot in my shack, you stealth assholes.
Right.
Doesn't even need to transform fully to use these powers. Technically, Jake can morph individual parts of his body at will.
Man, I wish I could transform into a dragon. Nothing would be sweeter than kicking ass as a magical fire-breathing super lizard.
The key word being magic.
Yep, he can
Magic.
fight magical creatures ordinary people can't, including ghosts.
Oh.
He can even use his chi to create doppelgangers of himself for a helping hand.
As a dragon, Jake is tough enough to smash through steel, hold up a pillar, and annihilate a house with a simple sneeze. He can produce enough flame to obliterate several sheets of stone. Measuring the size of the hole here next to the girl in the shot, we can tell his fire breath destroyed over 6 million cubic centimeters of stone, which would need over 30 tons of TNT.
That's like getting hit by 3 mother-of-all bombs, which was a massive 10,000 kilogram nuke.
Well, that
Wonder if
was
Jake ever uses breath
not as
mints.
much as
He can
Danny
also
was
fly
able to
over
put
100
out.
miles per hour, moving from ground to cloud level in mere seconds.
And he can dodge lasers too, and they're totally light lasers, reflecting off mirrors, straight consistent speed, all that stuff.
Jake has accomplished a lot as the Amdrag of New York City, but it wasn't always easy.
Yeah, being a teenager's hard, not to mention keeping his powers a secret from his monster-hating dad. Really landed a winner there, Mom, whose own father is a dragon monster.
He's defeated the Hunts clan over and over, fought off his own evil clone, and even outdid the Dark Dragon himself.
The ultimate dragon!
Really?
Top-tier dragos around the world are scared shitless of this guy, but Jake whooped his butt and sealed him away for good. Or at least for the next 1,000 years. That'll be someone else's problem.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Jake has one distinct, unavoidable weakness.
He's a teenager.
Sphinx hair.
Oh.
Like the Egyptian lion riddle lady?
Exactly.
Well, that's not random at all.
Young and brash though he may be, the world can rest assured that Jake Long will carry on the dragon's legacy.
He really is the hippest fire-breathing super lizard out there.
Did they give him like any durability feats? The biggest thing I can think of is just with him like going through a steel wall, but they didn't give any numbers with that.
It's time for a death battle!
What is all? Pause. Usually there's a commercial, then I have time to sit through and think, and then we get here. All right, let's predict. Okay, so neither of them frankly seemed super impressive based upon the other death battle commands that we've seen recently. However, based upon the actual numbers that we've been given, I think that Danny Phantom is going to win. However, my concern there is that Danny Phantom is usually, like, he's used to fighting ghosts, and Jake Long's not a ghost, he's a dragon. Like, he has magical properties, obviously, but he is just a dragon. He is not a ghost, and that's what Danny Phantom usually fights. And so, like, a lot of Danny's arsenal, I think, would be rendered just completely useless because it's not the same thing that he's fighting. However, Jake Long has experience fighting ghosts and can do that. They can both clone themselves. They can both move, like, quick enough to dodge lasers, and that's Danny's main form of attack. However, Danny Phantom was able to put out, like, 55, I think, tons of TNT's worth of energy, whereas Jake was able to put out, like, what, 30? It wasn't as much. I felt like it was a little over half as much when he was, like, blasting the walls. Jake was able to take on, like, the ancient black dragon or whatever, but Danny's been able to take on, like, Vlad, or whatever his name was, you know, like, his arch nemesis, big vampire dude, and his future self, that kind of thing. So the reaction speed's about the same as far as the lasers are concerned. I don't know about typical movement speeds. They mentioned, like, Jake Long flying up to the atmosphere with something really quickly. And I don't remember any particular feats for Danny Phantom. Obviously, he flies all the bloody time, and so he's got to be good at it. And he can turn invisible, but I think that Jake Long might be able to counter that with his, like, dragon eyes. I don't remember what exactly those could do. However, Danny can phase. He can just phase through stuff. He can become intangible, and Jake can't do that. Jake can't have a counter to that. And so, like, I'm thinking, like, technically, if Jake is going to get off a finishing blow, Danny could just avoid it. And I know that that's, like, already the case, and they even specified, like, for as fast as he is, you think he'd be able to dodge more of these guys. But, like, if we're taking them at their peak, he would have the capability to avoid a finishing blow by just becoming incorporeal, you know? Danny also has the ability to possess people, and I don't remember anything that said that Jake could counter that. And so that could come into play. Basically, they both have a lot of experience, but Danny, I think, technically has more, and he's older, and so he has more wisdom, and even though he is still like a hormonal, emotional teenager, he is better than I think a 13 or 14-year-old Jake Long would be. Jake is not a dragon, and he has fought ghosts, but I still think that with Danny's, it still seems like he's more versatile with what he, maybe not with all the different like dragon body parts, you know, that he can individually morph. But I still want to say that Danny will win. I do know that like he dealt out more like more tons of TNT worth of energy at that golf course feat, and they mentioned too the dragon breath in the sky with the clouds feat being like kilotons, and I think that Danny was able to survive that. And if that's the case, like what could Jake do that Danny couldn't survive? So I think that Danny's going to win this one. Danny Phantom's going to win and play. We'll see. We'll see.
There, back where it belongs.
Yo, back to steal something else?
What? No, I didn't steal
Dragging
anything.
up. You got
He was
3
putting it
seconds
back.
before the Amtrak's gonna show you out.
What?
Amdrag. American Dragon. Gotcha.
Going ghost! I didn't count 3!
Kill him, Danny. Kill him. Make him so he's no longer alive. And then kill him as a ghost.
Wanna try something else? I don't want this to drag on.
How's this?
Ow.
Oh yeah, I'm the Amdragon of the NYC, and you ghost kid ain't got nothing on me.
I didn't take into account that Jake could attack him even when he's phasing.
Eye of the Dragon. Where'd he go?
So he's already used his phasing, and he's already used his possession. Yes, I did notice red versus blue. Rooster
Ready
Teeth,
for
yep.
more?
Not a bad trick, G. But anything you can do? I can do better.
You can do it, Danny! Oh no, there's a tornado! Oh no, it's fires. Yeah. You're okay, Danny. You can survive that. You can survive that.
Way cooler.
Get out!
D to the A to the N and Y. This dragon's got claws and waits to fly. But I'm still better than this other guy.
Yes!
What?
And then he did as a ghost. He did catch him as a ghost. Yay!
What's up, pal?
Ah, cool.
Well, looks like this dragon got burned.
This was a very unique matchup. With both fighters having such different power sets, it was fascinating to watch them clash together. Jake was technically more skilled thanks to his grandfather's martial arts training, and has proven capable of harming ghosts. But Danny's power and plethora of abilities was difficult for him to counter.
Yeah, Danny's no slouch and has fought a few more battles than Jake. Plus, Jake's never dealt with a ghost as powerful as Danny. Those cranky Civil War spirits didn't exactly have ice beams and ghost lasers.
While they may have been similar in light speed reactions, Danny's flight speed was definitely higher. Also,
Was it? Okay.
Jake's fire was comparable to 3 GBU-43 warheads, commonly referred to as the mother of all bombs. However, Dorothea's fire was equal to 700 of them.
And Danny took those flames on like a champ, which means Jake didn't have the firepower he needed to knock the
Exactly.
teenage ghost down
Yes. Good.
Could overpower Jake's fire with his ecto projectiles, match Jake's duplicates with his own, and even slip past Jake's heightened senses with his invisibility.
And while Danny had all those counters, Jake didn't have any against Danny's will or possession.
Jake may be the American dragon for good reason, but he couldn't match up to Danny's impressive power, durability, and ghostly abilities.
It didn't
Cool.
take long for Jake to fall short in this fantastic battle.
The
Nice.
winner is Danny Phantom.
Claps for Danny Phantom. Okay, cool.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Death Battle.
You're welcome, Ben.
For yourself, you can get it by clicking the link down below.
And if you want to watch more stuff, check the boxes right over there.
Nice. Next time on Death Battle. Spirit, Truth, Princess, Amazon. Okay, so Wonder Woman. She-Ra. She-Ra versus Wonder Woman. Okay. I don't know She-Ra, so that'll be a thing. That'll be a thing all its own. I mean, like I know of her, but I definitely know Wonder Woman better, and that's not to say I know Wonder Woman to the extent that Death Battle would require, but hey, at least I recognized her. Okay, so this is Death Battle. Danny Phantom versus American Dragon Jake Long. So, yay, Danny won. Okay, I'm glad for that. It's further. It makes sense to me because it was for the reasons that I talked about. Did I forget like the ghost whale? I did. But I remembered the other things. I talked about the duplication being countered. I mentioned they both had like the light speed reactions. I didn't know the feat that was saying that Danny Phantom could fly faster, and I wish they'd actually kind of mentioned what that feat was again in the conclusion, but that's okay. That's just on me for having missed it. But then, yeah, Jake Long just not having like the output to finish off Danny because, you know, like his own dragon breath compared to whatever the dragon was in Danny Phantom. That they, with the sky and the clouds, they mentioned that. I'm glad I was able to pick up on that discrepancy between Jake's possible damage output and like the Danny's durability in terms of that fire. So that was nice. Yeah, no, just like I'm glad that the conclusion cleared things up again. Expanded upon some of the other things that I was wondering about. So, yay, happy for that. Like, it probably would have been cool if in the analysis portion they actually talked a little bit more about the ghosts he fought instead of just saying he also fought ghosts. Maybe give a little bit more information as to like what the ghosts were, because I didn't realize that they were like particularly weak ghosts. But I guess they didn't do that because they didn't want to be like, look at how we're drawing attention to the fact that this is a weak ghost and not a Danny Phantom ghost. I don't know, whatever. They've done things like that before that have worked out just fine, even if they point out, you know, that like this is the same kind of thing as the person they're going to be fighting, but they're not as good. But I guess that's just kind of supposed to be taken, you know, to be expected. You know, Danny Phantom is the main character, so it makes sense that he would be a particularly powerful ghost considering what he goes up against on the daily. Yeah, animation was fun. I quite liked it. You just get like two teenagers throwing one-liners at each other, you know, just trying to one-up each other in coolness almost. I still think Danny Phantom is way cooler. Even if he had lost, I still would have thought that Danny was cooler, you know. It seems to me Jake is just trying too hard in some regards, you know. But being able to, you know, see them moving around different environments, like starting in the museum and ending up in the city and that kind of thing, that was cool. Again, seeing like I say again just because I bring this up in a lot of different death battles, but I do find it significant, so that's why I bring it up so many times. But the way that, like, first I had a story, and that was nice. Like, it made sense. Danny returning something that someone else must have stolen, and Jake Long thinking that Danny was responsible, and given his nature, he doesn't actually ask any more questions. He just starts fighting Danny, and Danny, of course, fights back. But what I was actually going to talk about, when I said again, was how things seem to evolve in the fight more naturally, more organically, and it wasn't just showing off different things for the sake of showing them off. But it's like, yeah, this is something I could see them actually doing at this point in the fight. Like, the biggest thing where I thought wasn't organic, I think, was Danny using his phasing powers. It seemed like that one was more to be like, look, Danny has phasing, and look, we're acknowledging that, but Jake Long can hit him physically himself anyway, like, in spite of that. But it still made sense enough. That was just, like, the biggest moment I think I'd take as far as being like, this is just to show off that they can do that. Yeah, so overall, I really like this death battle. I'm glad for the conclusion, glad for the animation, and of course the analyses to help me, like, just provide me with more information. Really surprised actually that the two characters had such underwhelming feats just in general, compared to all of the other death battles we've seen. They go crazy with like pentatons worth of energy and stuff, and these ones are like 55 whole tons, and it's like, wow, that's almost nothing compared to what we've seen other people do. But yeah, let me know what you all thought about this death battle in the comments below, whether you liked it, whether you disliked it, what you thought about this or that, etc., so on and so forth. And next time we will be watching She-Ra versus Wonder Woman, so I hope that you're looking forward to that. But yes, we're calling it here, so have a good one, everybody.